So that's another $4,000. And there you go. That's $12,000 per month. In the next couple of minutes, you're going to learn the simplest way to get up to $12,000 months with a knowledge business. Now in this video, we're going to break it down into 3 components. Number 1 is going to be why only 2% of the market actually makes it and how we can be part of that 2%. Number 2 is going to be the game-changing model that we're going to implement that, to be honest, is going to make $12,000 per month seem laughably easy. And then thirdly, we're going to talk about the exact next steps to follow to ensure that you can start this model today. And as always, there are some lovely free gifts at the end. So for those who commit, I promise I will not disappoint. Now, this video is for those who are new or seasoned to the knowledge industry. So let's jump straight in. What exactly is a knowledge business? Knowledge business is pretty simple at its core. There's a big group of people that has a certain problem or a struggle, and you're just going to give them the solution. Now, this is usually what courses did, but the big fundamental problem was this is exactly what they did. They just gave the solution and they ran away. What's going to be fundamentally different in the model that we apply is we're going to give them a processing mechanism. And that just basically means we're going to give them the opportunity, a place to process their solution to get to their result. We're not just going to give them the solution and run away. Now, in essence, all this is that you have a certain skill, you have knowledge, or maybe you went through a struggle. And now what you're going to do is you're going to teach this. Remember this one thing. You are best equipped to help those you were a year ago. Now, that is incredibly powerful because you went through that struggle, you went through that pain. So that's exactly what you're going to do. And a great example is this Kenneth Smith. Now, what Kenneth does is he helps people to build credit and clean their credit. Now, he's not just an industry expert. His story is he basically wanted to open up a clothing brand. But to get that, he needed credit. He needed to loan. Now, what he did is he delved quite deep into getting credit and cleaning credit and building credit. And he became such an expert because of his struggle. Now he's teaching other people how to do the exact same thing. Now, just see how powerful this is. Because he went through the struggle, now he's teaching the solution to his struggle. He's making over $80,000 per month. So he's changing lives and making a filthy amount of money. So just see how powerful this is and apply this to your own life. Whether you figure out how to make friends, or maybe it's public speaking for introverts, or maybe you've opened up a window cleaning business and you want to teach other people how to do this. It is incredibly powerful what you can do with this model. So a couple of seconds about who I am. Hi, my name is Werner. I'm a certified CPA, or at least that's AI me, but you can see it's the same person-ish. I've been a business consultant for the past decade, and 69-figure businesses pay me a filthy amount of money, so I can make them even more filthier amounts of money. But that's enough about me. Let's jump into why so many people in the knowledge industry are failing. Now, before we get super tactical, let's take a step back to talk about a principle. There's a subconscious thing going on in all our heads. It's called the value equation. So a couple of practical examples are, let's say you're in a relationship or you have a partner. Now, the one partner does all the dishes, does all the chores, they initiate date night, they do everything. Then immediately you're going to feel that your value in this relationship is a bit more than the other person. So then you're going to have to figure out that equilibrium. Now, whether that's right or wrong, that's not for me, but it's basically something that happens in our subconscious. Same thing with employment. So let's say you do data entry and your employer pays you $400,000 per year. Now you're going to do everything in your power to do it as quick and as perfectly as possible because the value that they give you is much more than what you give them. And you know this, and vice versa. If you give your all for a company, you're working overtime, you're creating millions for a company, but they pay you a measly $60,000, you're going to be out of there. Why? Because the value that you give is not equal to the value that they give you. There's always going to be equilibrium. And it's for this exact reason why so many online coaches fail. They believe that the value needs to equal the cost. And that's basically the current model with a high ticket offers. So what they do is they hook you in with an ad or organic. They provide value. They give you lead magnet solutions. So the moment your perceived value of the product equals the cost, you're probably going to buy, and then boom, everyone's happy, right? They made the money, you got your product. But no, that's fundamentally wrong because of one big reason. I call it squeezing the lemon. Now, yes, they made the sale wonderful, but the thing is the CLV is not there. So the client lifetime value. And if you're not measuring your business success by your CLV or your client lifetime value, you're going to be very sadly disappointed because you're missing out on so much. So essentially what we did, because the value equal to the cost, the moment that person buys, regardless of how good that product is, it's most probably the end of your revenue. So that person is always going to spend thousands on ads with no real guarantee that that person is going to buy. And another negative effect is now your word of mouth isn't there. Reason for this being because the value that you gave equal to the cost, they have no incentive to actually go out and preach the gospel or basically tell people about your product. So think about it this way. If you go to the shops and you see a $5 apple and it costs $5, you're going to be okay, great. But if you see that same $5 apple for $1, you're going to message everyone you know that likes apples, apparently, because the value is so much more than the actual cost. You're going to share it. It's an inherent human instinct. Now, how are we actually going to fix this? So we're going to zoom out again and talk about a principle. Now, imagine there are two ponds. There's one pond with fish that are ravenous. They just want to bite. They're ready to buy. That's your 5% of the market, ready to buy. And then you have your 20%. So a much larger pond, but these fish are mediocre. They're not 100% sure they actually want to eat. So of course, logically, you're going to go for that 5%. But what if I tell you that there are 100 hooks in that pond and only 4 hooks in the 20%? And that's exactly what's happening. Because all the marketing training, everyone is focused on the top 5% of the market that's ready to buy. And the problem now becomes this market is tired because all the ads, all the marketing goes towards the 5%. No one wants to touch the 20% because they're not ready to buy. Even though they're pretty close, they need to be educated. And this is the sector that we're going to jump into. I'm going to show you exactly how to harness this to get ridiculous results. Now, what can you expect from this model? Number one, we're going to train unqualified buyers. And a good example for this is, imagine a plumber came to your house. They tell you for $20, they're going to do a full assessment of your whole plumbing system. Now, they do that whole assessment and they pinpoint 3 places for exposure or places that can burst. Now, you're like, okay, awesome plumber, I trust you. You fix that, it cost you $1,200. Now, what happens only a month later is that your neighbor with the same house at the same age develops burst on those exact 3 places. The whole basement is ruined and it's going to cost them $40,000 to fix. Now, just imagine how much you're going to trust that plumber. That plumber came to you, he educated you on a problem that you actually had, and he gave you the solution. So everyone wins in this scenario. You got to fix a problem that you didn't know existed yet. The plumber got his money and he built trust. And he basically got such a crazy CLV because you're always going to buy from him. Well, not everyone wins. Your neighbor is probably a bit sad, but that's okay. So in essence, that's exactly what we're going to do with this new model. We're going to train unqualified buyers. We're going to build trust with unqualified buyers. So usually there's a lot of buyers out there, but the competition is crazy. So we're going to focus on building trust. We're going to turn uninterested clients into interested because we're going to nurture that relationship. And lastly, we're going to use word of mouth and testimonies as our main traffic source because that is bar none the best way to get clients. Now that we have all the background info, let's get into the tactical pieces. How are we going to implement this model? Now, this is where things get fun because now we're actually going to start making it happen. Now, initially what we're going to do is we're going to give them a hell of a lot of free stuff. So remember, this is no obligation samples. What that basically means is that we're not going to ask for an email. We're not going to ask for anything in return because of the value equation. We want to make sure that the value we give is much more than what they give us. And the moment we make that transactional, we totally screw up that whole process. So how are we going to do this free stuff? No mind blow here. We're basically going to give them a lot of shorts and long form. So we're going to delve into what are the struggles, what are the problems that our industry has or the thing that we want to teach. And we're just going to create content on resolving it. Now I've created a separate video how to figure that out. But essentially for now, just now, you're going to create a lot of material as much as you can solving problems. So that's going to be your free stuff. Now from there, you're going to use Linktree. That's just a way you can take them from social media to your documentation or at least your assets. And you're going to give them a Google Doc, a Notion doc, a template, whatever. Anything that has helped you to get from where you were to where you are, you're going to give them for free. So this is basically what we call your digital assets. So things that you're going to give them for free that's just going to make their life easier or at least get a solution to their problem. Now, once you've done that and you've built up that trust, we're going to funnel them through to a membership site. There's not just going to be a normal membership, but this is going to be a membership community. And we're not going to withhold information for a higher tier. We're going to give it our all. Why? Because we really want to help these people. We want to build trust, not just to money grab and make as much money as we can from the start. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to do this at $4,200, so very low membership. And this is going to be community, not just information. This isn't just a course where you basically spew a lot of information and let them go. We're going to create a community. We're going to gamify it. We're going to give the people a place to actually communicate. We're going to do calls. We're really going to be invested in giving them a solution. So I hope you're starting to see that we're changing lives. This isn't just a money grab. So that's why it's so important. Let's say in our social media, we get 10,000 views. Only 0.5% of the people actually make it through to your membership site. So that's 50 people at $100. So that's already $5,000 while changing people's lives. What I would recommend for this is use Skool.com. The reason for this being you get a lot Kajabi, ClickFunnels, a lot other places, but Skool.com is focused on the community aspects, not just the course piece, plus it's super user-friendly. I've worked with Kajabi and other programs. It's clunky. It's powerful, but it's clunky and it's not user-friendly. So I would really recommend using Skool. You're going to get the quickest results from it with the least amount of hassle. Now, after you have this membership, so a lot of people are going to stay here, but some people who are highly committed will want to go all in. So this is where we're going to create the high tier group. And we're going to limit this to 20 people. Reason being is we really want to spend time with these people. We're going to do a couple more calls. We're really going to invest in their success. So we're going to up this to $200 to $300 because the value that we give is so much more. The time that we spend, we're going to up the price quite a bit. And the customer is happily going to pay this because they know because of your free stuff, because of your free membership, you deliver results. So they just want to get there faster. So they'll be happy to pay this price. Now, let's say only 10 people actually buy this at $300. So that's another $3,000. Again, helping people and just teaching your skill. And I would also recommend using Skool for this. It's going to give you your quickest and best results. And then even after that, we're going to implement the done with you or done for you service. The reason being, a lot of the time, people want to focus on their thing. So whether that is their family life, their business, their thing, they want some help with it. So they want someone to do it with or for them. Now, this is usually the big money maker. Reason being is that it is super intensive, time intensive, labor intensive. And usually this is what coaches do. They try to go straight to this point. They want to skip this whole piece. This is purely for those people who really want that hand-holding experience. And because we can't really neglect this piece because it is the money maker, we have to push it. So let's say you only get one person at $4,000. So that's another $4,000. And there you go. That's $12,000 per month. And this is super conservative. One thing I do want to mention is I know the done with you, done for you service can be super labor intensive. So what I would recommend is just use Upwork. There's a whole slew of contractors and freelancers out there that are willing to do the work at a very low price. Yes, you have to set it up and build the SOPs, but I promise you, if you build your systems, Upwork can absolutely fundamentally change your business. And there you go. That's your path to $12,000 per month. Now, I just want to touch on a couple of troll warnings here. I know a lot of people are just going to say this is a normal tiered model. The big difference is we're not going to give them a low price product which withholds information. We're going to give it all. In our low price community, we're going to give it them all. The reason we're doing tiers is to increase the likelihood and speed of the result of the person. So we're not withholding anything. We're not manipulating. We're giving them the opportunity. Some people are just doers. They're going to get into the membership side and they're going to get stuff done. But other people, they have different priorities. They need a bit more handholding or they have different models. So I just wanted to call that out because that's one of the first comments I get. So I hope you see again how powerful this is, how easy it is to set up. Okay, so what are the practical levers? What are the things that we can give to our clients, either in our free stuff or membership, to fundamentally change the experience and in that up the value in our value equation? Now, the first practical lever is add better and more material. But just as you go through the process and you find different struggles or things that people struggle with more, add better material, like improve your material, add more, like on different issues. Number two is going to be reduce the effort for the client. So every hack, every template, everything that you can introduce into your program that's going to reduce the effort is going to fundamentally increase that value. And a nice little ninja hack for value add is add partners content. Now, of course, this is with consent. And what I would do is go to the other partners or people in a symbiotic relationship, ask if you can use their free assets in your program. Of course, give full accreditation. So basically what's going to happen is that's going to increase the value of your course because you give them these assets, and the partner is going to be super happy because they get exposure. Super powerful hack. Next up is subject tribes. So a good example for this is, let's say you have a fitness channel or a fitness community. You teach people to be more fit. Now there could be tribes for nutrition, exercise, and let's say mental health. Because in fitness, there are different groups. So you can create different little groups for people that want to focus on one piece a bit more. Next up is going to be gamification. So this is going to be built into Skool if you decide to go with Skool.com, but this is immensely powerful. We need to game the system. We need to get into the sociology. Basically give the people those small little dopamine hits. Reason being, this isn't manipulation. This is purely we're upping their chances of getting the result that you promised in your community. The longer they stay there, the better chance they have of actually achieving the results, and the better chance you have of better testimonials and better word of mouth. The next powerful hack is we're going to reduce time to the first result. Whatever you're teaching, whatever the solution is, make sure the time from where your client starts to where they start seeing their first results is as quick as possible. That is the most dangerous piece. When people join up in the first couple of days or weeks, when people fall off, they don't think this is a reality for them. So see how much you can reduce the time to the first result. And next up is going to be accountability groups. This is immensely powerful. So in essence, all you're going to do is you're going to create groups of 4 to 5 people, and you don't need to be part of this. You just need to facilitate this. And in these groups, these people are going to meet on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis. They're going to talk about the promises that they made that they're going to do. Did they hit them? Did they not? And why not? This accountability just really helps people to actually achieve the result, to put in that bit of extra effort, because they know they're accountable to other people. So you'll see the moment you apply this in your groups, it is crazy powerful. And lastly, and probably the most important, is create quick wins. Now, you've probably heard this, but this is so important because the moment you're going to create quick wins, they're going to have the dopamine spike, they're going to stay in your program, and they're going to actually achieve what you promised. And again, this is going to be word of mouth testimonies. So you need this. This is absolutely crucial. Now, I know there's a lot more practical levers, but these are the 8 big ones I would focus on to really increase the value of your program. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. All my contact information is in the description below. And as promised, the free gifts. So in the description below, you'll see a link to my Linktree. Just go to Business Cheat Codes and you'll get this map with the exact steps on how to start your $12,000 a month knowledge business. I really hope this helped. I really hope this added a lot of value. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I will see you in the next video.